Ladies and gentlemen, Laura Kingsford, Dean, College of Natural Sciences and Mathematics.
Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of the faculty, staff, and students in the College of Natural Sciences and Mathematics, I welcome you to the 66th commencement exercise at California State University, Long Beach. You students know that earning a degree in the sciences or mathematics requires a lot of hard work and dedication. And although our programs are demanding, we deeply care about your success. We are proud of you for having achieved the goal that you are here today to celebrate. We commend those of you who went beyond the classroom to gain other important experiences, such as leadership positions in student government or student clubs, study abroad, service learning, and research with faculty. These teach skills you need, including teamwork, communication, and creative and critical thinking. Working closely with faculty members on research projects in the laboratory, at the computer, or in the field is perhaps the best way we know to help you meet future challenges. With these experiences, you become effective scientists and mathematicians and play an important role in building a positive future for all. You, the graduating class of 2015, are the hope for a brighter future, and you are well prepared for it. We are delighted that the families and friends of our students are here to share this special occasion and to celebrate with you. You'll meet several members of the platform party during the ceremony. At this time, I'll introduce the other members of the university community who are honoring us with their presence here today. I ask that you please hold your applause until I've introduced everyone. Roman Cochin, Dean of Library Services and Associate Vice President for Academic Technology. Simon Kim, Associate Vice President for Research and Sponsored Programs. Carmen Taylor, Vice President for Student Affairs. Mary Stevens, Vice President for Administration and Finance. Andrea Taylor, Vice President of University Relations and Development. Jeet Joshi, Associate Vice President and Dean, International Continuing and Professional Education. Henry Fung, Associate Dean for Student Support. Christoph Slowinski, Associate Dean for Academic Programs, Evaluation, and Advising. Paul Laris, Director for the Program in Environmental Science and Policy. Rudy Villegas, President of the College of Natural Sciences and Mathematics Student Council. And Susan Gomez-Zweep, Chair of the College Faculty Council. And Karen Nakai, Chief of Staff, Office of the President. This year, the college has named Dr. David Huckabee, Professor Emeritus of the Department of Biological Sciences, as its Grand Marshal. Dr. Huckabee received his PhD in zoology from the University of Michigan, Ann Arbor in in 1973, and was appointed to the faculty at CSULB that same year. Once here, he quickly became a valued instructor and advisor for CSULB students taking biology classes in the major and for general education. Dr. Huckabee is also widely recognized for his expertise in curriculum matters. Over the years, he has been instrumental in the development of CSULB's curriculum as a path for learning that translates into a highly valued CSULB degree sought by employers and graduate programs alike. Thus, we recognize him here today for his many years of teaching, guiding, and advising students in their academic careers. His outstanding service and diligent attention to our curriculum has contributed to our university's excellence and ensures our students' success beyond CSULB. We thank Dr. Huckabee for his service and his excellent contributions. I am now honored to introduce our president, Jane Close Conley.
I've had the privilege of serving as Long Beach State's 7th president for 10 months. A little shorter than you've been here, right? It's my first beach commencement year, and I'm delighted that you are my first graduating class. You'll always be very special to me for that reason. Go class 2015. My congratulations to the families, friends, faculty, and staff of all our graduates. Each of you played an important role in supporting, encouraging, nagging, teaching, guiding, and loving our graduates. I know the graduates want to thank you. If you're a family member, friend, faculty member, or beach staff person, please wave or stand up so we can give you a round of applause. Heartfelt congratulations and affection to each of our soon-to-be beach alumni. I'm sure you've had a roller coaster ride of loving your experience at the beach, sometimes hating your experience at the beach, and sometimes wondering if you've ever get done, and sometimes wishing that you'd never have to leave. But finally, thinking that you're just so much smarter than all of us that it's time to go. In fact, you are a lot smarter than when you came to us a few years ago. But because of you, we got smarter too. So be sure to stay connected with us through advanced degrees or certificates or just to say hello. We'll do our best to wow you. We'll keep on learning, and we will certainly welcome you. You are now part of a 300,000 strong beach alumni network and the CSU class of 3 million. Wherever your path leads, I encourage you to declare your beach pride by supporting aspiring 49ers, by reminding the public and our policymakers about the value of a Cal State Long Beach degree and the importance of your alma mater. And remember, it really did take a village to get you where you are today, including support from companies and foundations, friends, and alumni who generously gave to declare the campaign for Cal State Long Beach because of their confidence in your ability and potential to make the world a better place. So how many of you will be rich and famous within a few years? Good. So when you are rich and famous, remember to give back to the beach. Be the 49ers that others admire and especially want to hire, right, parents? I could talk to you in abstract ways about how to get ahead by building on your specialized, very specialized knowledge that you learned in your majors, using critical thinking skills, honing communication skills, appreciating the arts and reading, and developing worldviews that are inclusive of all people. These are very important. But instead, let me give you a few hints about how to thrive in your life transitions. Trust me, there's research about this. These hints are the basis for a happy and efficacious life. First, be grateful every day for what you have instead of focusing only on what you want. Notice how your life is enriched by others' support and love. This selective attention will make you happy. Second, celebrate your own successes, like today, and the successes of others. Happiness is not a zero-sum game. It grows to any size. Never be envious of others. Always be joyful at others' accomplishments and tell them, and your triumphs will follow. And finally, savor each moment you have. Live in the present without anxiety about the future or regret about the past. Be alert to your life. Be skeptical about what everyone believes or the latest fads. Always find your own evidence. I know you're great at that coming from this college. Do the work, and you'll never succumb to blind ideologies. You will build your own life filled with meaning. Okay, you got that? You go like that. You got it? Okay, good. Stay connected, embrace the Beach Alumni Network, and go Beach!
Thank you, President Conley. I now present Dr. David Dow, our University Provost and Senior Vice President for Academic Affairs.
Thank you. On behalf of the Division of Academic Affairs and of the outstanding faculty of California State University, Long Beach, I am delighted to congratulate the more than 500 graduates from the College of Natural Science and Mathematics. You are this is the largest graduating class Cal State Long Beach has ever had. I also wish to congratulate the parents, family members, and loved ones gathered here to celebrate these accomplishments. I wish to offer deep gratitude to the alumni and friends who support the college and the university. Graduates, you can take pride in knowing you have earned your degree from CSULB. Did you know that just this year the campus was singled out for special acclaim by the White House, by the Governor of California, and by a National Higher Education Association for excellence and innovation? We are regularly highly rated in U.S. News and Kiplinger's and Diversity in Higher Ed and all those rating services. You can also be proud of having earned your degree from the College of Natural Science and Mathematics. The college has a distinguished and accomplished faculty who are conducting cutting-edge research with students that focuses on pressing issues like preventing neurodegenerative diseases, treating infertility, and ensuring safe, clean drinking water. And that includes determining whether radiation from Japan's Fukushima nuclear power plant has reached our shores. Don't worry, it didn't. The college is only one of 12 institutions in the nation awarded a grant from the Beckman Scholars Program to provide opportunities for students to conduct research. And in addition, and in a historic development, the college played a vital leadership role in helping the university secure the largest grant ever received by this university, the largest grant ever provided anywhere for STEM education from the National Institutes of Health to establish an innovative research training program. And this grant was given to our university because of the federal government's confidence in the work of this college. You can be proud of that, graduates. Did I mention that was $23 million? Many of those who graduated before you have gone on to distinguished careers in laboratories, hospitals, classrooms, and private industry. You can count among your fellow alums leading to research scientists, doctors, environmental consultants, and award-winning educators. And class, your global future has arrived. In your increasingly global world, you will be confronted with challenges of inequality, climate change, water shortages, and many other critical issues. Now more than ever, our region, our state, our nation need your knowledge, your skills, your cultural competence, your creativity, and your ethical leadership to address the challenges we face in this diverse and increasingly interconnected world. With the education you received here at Cal State Long Beach, you are well prepared to do great things, to lead and to make a positive difference in your homes, workplaces, communities, and in broader society. You will always be a member of the Long Beach family. We wish you happiness and great success. Be as proud of being a Cal State Long Beach graduate as we are today proud of you. Go Beach.
Thank you, Provost Dow. I now present Mrs. Marnos Lelesi of the CSULB Alumni Association. I am delighted to welcome Marnos to the platform. She is the past president of the CSULB Alumni Association and a current board member. Marnos Lelesi.
Thank you, Dean Kingsford. Graduates, as you receive your degree today, you become part of a truly amazing group, the CSULB alumni family, which will be more than 300,000 strong. And you are also part of the class of 3 million. With this spring's graduations, the world's largest university system, the California State University, celebrates its 3 millionth graduate from its 23 campuses. On behalf of the CSULB Alumni Association, I congratulate you and offer our sincere best wishes for your future successes. And now I am pleased to recognize the outstanding graduate, Elan Carnahan, who will receive her BS in Environmental Science and Policy. The President's Scholar, who was involved in numerous campus service organizations, has served as a research assistant on several ecology projects in the Stankovich Lab, an intern for the Science Learning Center, and a volunteer guide for the Marine Laboratory. After graduation, Elan plans to work in wildlife research or monitoring before going to graduate school. Her most valuable professor is Dr. Ted Stankovich from Biological Sciences. Would you both please stand to be acknowledged? Congratulations. And now I am honored to recognize the college's distinguished alumnus, Jean Bernard Durand. He received his Bachelor of Science degree in biology in 1984. Then he went to the Medical College of Wisconsin, where he received his MD, and followed by his residency at Loyola University Medical Center in Illinois. Dr. Durand is an innovator in his field and has made medical history by revolutionizing our understanding of the relationship between cardiovascular disease and cancer. His current positions at the University of Texas MD Anderson Cancer Center include Associate Professor of Medicine, Medical Director of Cardiomyopathy Services, and Director of Cardiovascular Genetics Research. Previously, he served as an American Heart Association Fellow at Baylor College of Medicine, where he worked to identify one of the first genes for sudden cardiac death and heart failure. Dr. Durand has achieved many firsts in his field, including being the founder of the world's first heart failure and cancer program. He was also named one of Houston's top doctors and America's top cardiologist, and was inducted into the Long Beach City College Hall of Fame in 2001. Unfortunately, Dr. Durand is unable to be with us today. He is stuck in the airport at Denver, and he is sending his best wishes to you and congratulations to the graduates. Now I'd like to introduce Associate Dean Kevin Kelly, Associate Dean for Research, to present the Outstanding Thesis Award. Dr. Kelly?
Our distinguished alumnus is one of the most impressive people I've ever met. I'm so sorry he didn't make it today, that he's stuck in Denver. I hope the best for him, but he represents Long Beach in a way that you should be very proud. So universities are places of new discoveries and the generation of new knowledge, and that is through research. In our college, we cherish our deep tradition of research, and frankly, we are one of the best in the country that also closely involves its students. The provost is right. Evidence of this excellence comes in the form of our outstanding graduate thesis designations. There is a great deal of excellent graduate research in our college, so this is not an easy decision to make. Awardees and their faculty mentors, please stand when your name is called and remain standing. In biology, Weston Spivia, who did his research with Professor Deborah Fraser, looked at the innate immune system and its role in atherosclerosis. Weston is already a lead author of a paper in inflammation research, and now he's planning for medical school. Last year, Roy Hernandez was outstanding graduate research student for the entire university, working with biochemistry professor Vasanthi Narayanaswamy. He researched a protein ApoE, which is closely involved in handling cholesterol. Roy is published as a co-author and will be a first author of a major paper in preparation, and he has already begun at the PhD program at USC. In geology, Christine Brown worked with Professor Gregory Hulk and used stable isotope analyses to understand fluid rock interactions in the formation of serpentites, sorry, I mispronounced that, and tectonic origins in the mountains of Santa Barbara County. Christine did this work as a full-time engineer with the state of California. She has an engineering degree from Ohio State, and they plan to publish these important findings. In physics and astronomy, Mark Lohman worked with Professor Prashanth Jaykumar in quantum chemodynamics. He extended calculations of nucleon electromagnetic form factors to electroweak form factors. Do you understand that? Let me put it this way. It's now being investigated at the Thomas Jefferson National Accelerator facility in Virginia. That's pretty important. And Mark is in the PhD program at the University of California, Riverside. In mathematics and statistics, Justin Pluta carried out statistical research with Professor Ho-Jen Moon to develop statistical decision-making algorithms for lung cancer patients undergoing chemotherapy to improve their survival rates. They're submitting this important work in a high-impact Statistics in Medicine journal. Okay. I also would like to mention our non-thesis masters in mathematics. They had to complete their master's degree through a comprehensive and very challenging exam, a highly worthy accomplishment, and we are to congratulate them. So now, to the rest of you, your turn is next. Make it so. Be a scientist and be a difference maker. Congratulations to the outstanding thesis winners and to all of you. I now introduce Dr. Babette Binken, the Director of Graduate Studies in our college. Thank you.
I'm short. All right. Welcome, everyone. The Graduate Dean's List of University Scholars and Artists recognizes only the top 1% of our graduate students here at CSULB. This year, 4 graduate students in our college received this distinction. They demonstrate a passion for and excellent leadership in their research, their service, their studies, and their community. Please stand as I call your name. Mr. Weston Rivers Spiva in biology. Weston has benefited Dr. Fraser's lab with his research on inflammatory responses, which has already resulted in a first authored publication. Ms. Sahar Rochandel from chemistry. Sahar has initiated research in Dr. Schramm's lab that aims to develop novel drug delivery strategies as well as evaluate their potential. She has also trained new students joining their lab on a regular basis. Mr. Samuel Hedges, physics. Samuel has shown superior ability in Dr. Ju's condensed matter lab, resulting in numerous successful experiments and publications. He has also been an excellent TA for the department. Ms. Natalie Brown, physics. Natalie has excelled in both numerical and analytical analyses in Dr. Papp's lab and has published her results also as a first author. She has also won the National American Association of Physics Teachers Award for Outstanding Physics Teaching Assistant. Please join me in congratulating these exceptional students as all of them continue their pursuits in PhD programs. Dean Kingsford.
Our
Our chairs will now announce their department honors in turn. I first introduce Dr. Desi Underwood, Department of Biological Sciences Chair.
Okay, I was told I have 90 seconds. Today is your day, graduates. If you're sitting here today, you've completed a rigorous coursework spanning from ecosystems and organisms to cells and molecules. You're now prepared to begin the next phase of your lives, be it graduate or professional school or the workforce. You have earned this moment, and we are proud of your accomplishments. I would now like to recognize the Departmental Robert Rhodes Award for Outstanding Baccalaureate to Jason Cosman. Would you please stand? Jason has majored in biology, optioned molecular cell physiology, and has maintained a 4.0 GPA throughout his college career, as well as earning 2 minors, 1 in chemistry and 1 in music. Jason plans to go into medicine and has interviews at top medical schools. The following students are earning departmental honors as graduate students. Megan Fitzgerald, please stand. Daniel Creer, Ika Siddiqa. Please applaud these students. Yay. And departmental undergraduate honors go to Emily Meese, Alex Dang, please stand, Alejandra Schaefer, Isaiah Moore. Thank you. I now introduce the Chair of Chemistry and Biochemistry, Dr. Chris Brazier.
You are part of the select community, and I count myself a member, that knows nothing is more cool or more fascinating than chemistry and biochemistry. We are proud today to celebrate the results of your hard work. Do your best and the opportunities will come. I certainly never expected to be standing here today. Best of luck in your future endeavors, and please stay in touch with us and remain a part of the department family. I will now announce our students receiving departmental honors, starting with our outstanding graduate in the department, our Robert D. Rhodes Award winner, Eric Kircher. Eric, can you please stand? Eric receives the Outstanding Baccalaureate Award. He has a 3.92 GPA in biochemistry. He has excelled as a researcher, a scholar, and as a mentor of his fellow students. Eric will continue to pursue biochemistry research as a career in graduate school. We now come to our departmental honors. And so starting with our undergraduates, our departmental honors go to Katrina Bautista. Katrina, please stand. Again, her degree in chemistry, and then to Daniel Tar and Ji-Won Lee, who are both receiving their BS degrees in biochemistry. Next, for our graduate students, we have departmental honors for a master's degree in chemistry to Joanna Milam and Sophia Wynn. And then for her master's degree in biochemistry to Elise Van Farsen. Congratulations to all of you. I now introduce the Chair of the Department of Geological Sciences, Dr. Dan Francis.
Geology impacts all of us, especially here in California. Our students get a very broad education that prepares them to lead us in solution to these problems, from earthquakes and other natural hazards to getting resources out of the ground, to innovate startup companies and shape policies to improve our lives. The following geology students received honors this year. Please stand as your name is called. The Robert D. Rhodes Award for the Outstanding Geology Baccalaureate is Rochelle Tournier. Who has maintained a 3.68 GPA at CSULB while she has been pursuing research in geochemistry that has included an undergraduate research fellowship at the American Museum of Natural History in New York, studying the genesis of blue sapphire from Mogok, Myanmar. Departmental honors go to Daniel Boyd, Antonio de Jesus Sandoval, and Rain Anderson for their work in earning the BS in geology. Congratulations to you and to all of our students. I now introduce Dr. Tongan Go, Chair of the Department of Mathematics and Statistics.
Congratulations to all our math students sitting here today. You are entering the elite club of math nerddom, and it's a great place to be since solving math problems also can solve a lot of real-life problems. Now we are going to recognize some of our outstanding students. Please stand when I call your name. This year, our Rhodes Award recipient is Juan Montano. Are you here? He is a President Scholar. When he was in high school, he competed in our Master at the Beach, and he earned one of the best scores. After he came here, he was not satisfied with just math. So in December, with a 3.64 GPA, he completed 3 majors: applied mathematics, electronic engineering, and biomedical engineering. Outstanding. Our next 8 students are graduating with Department Honors. Linnell John Wellecombe, BS Mathematics in Statistics. Jonathan Ricardo Guzman, BS Mathematics and BA Economics. Diana Gonzalez, BS Mathematics and BA Physics. Now the math students, Michael Constantine Richards, MS Mathematics. Min Chong, MS Applied Statistics. Robert Van Dien, MS Applied Statistics. Next to Christina Kimberly, MS Mathematics in Math Education. Derek Stephen Johnson, MS Mathematics in Math Education. Again, congratulations to our math students. Now I'm pleased to introduce the chair of the Department of Physics and Astronomy, Dr. Chu Hee Kwang.
Albert Einstein said, "It's not that I'm so smart. It's just that I stay with problems longer." You, as physics students, remember working long hours for E&M homework with your friends, solving the problem at 2 a.m., and having this joy of accomplishment. You persisted and have completed a rigorous physics degree. That experience, as well as all of the mathematical, computational, and experimental skills that you mastered, will serve you well in any occupation or further study. Congratulations to all. It is my pleasure to announce the graduates who have received special honors. Please stand when your name is announced. This year's recipient of the Robert D. Rose Award for Outstanding Baccalaureate Students in Physics and Astronomy is Kayla Bollinger. Receiving a BS in Physics with 3.9 CSULB GPA. These next students for departmental honors exhibited excellence both in the classroom and in research. Departmental graduate student honors for the MS in Physics, David Ronquillo. For the MS in Physics, Applied Physics, Ashkan Piker. And Brian Kacha. For departmental student honors while earning the BS in Physics, Christopher Perry. And Evan Jarate. Justin Fournier. I now introduce the Chair of the Department of Science Education, Dr. Lisa Martin Hansen.
As science educators in our undergraduate and our master's programs, you have participated in challenging courses that have prepared you to become tomorrow's science education leaders. Today, you join science educators in a variety of places: schools, museums, science centers, and aquaria. The Department of Science Education congratulates you. Next, we announce the Department of Science Education Awards. If you please stand when your name is announced. First, we have the Robert D. Rhodes Award for Outstanding Student Teacher, which is Joseph Fictars. Joseph completed the single subject credential in biological sciences. The next students are our master's degree students in science education. Again, if you would please stand when your name is called. Department graduate student honors are awarded to Erica Young. Erica's master's in science education focused upon elementary and middle school science ed. Next, we'd like to recognize Lori M. Walsh. Lori's master's degree in science ed focused upon informal science education. We also have Julian Jordan. Julian's master's degree in science education focused upon informal science education. Congratulations to all of the graduates in science education and also to all of you in the College of Natural Sciences and Mathematics. I now turn the podium back over to Dean Kingsford.
Okay, now we reach the part of the program for which many of you have been waiting. I will now present the candidates for the master's degree who were hooded earlier in their department celebrations by their advisors and assisted by their department chairs. Any candidates who were not previously hooded will be done now at the side ramp by Associate Dean Fung and Associate Dean Slowinski prior to their crossing the stage. Under the direction of the faculty marshals, will the first row of candidates for the master's degree from the College of Natural Sciences and Mathematics please stand and come forward. Candidates will proceed from your right, cross the platform, and return to your seats on your left. Readers Patrick Taylor and Jameson Price will read the names.
President Connolly, we present to you the candidates for the master's degree. That'll wake them up. From the Department of Biological Sciences, Natasha Jackson, advised by Dr. Lisa Klicht.
Charles Hooper Jr., advised by Dr. Archie.
Ika Siddiqa.
Saori Taniguchi, advised by Hungwei Tsai.
Courtney Lynn Donovan.
Dan Creer, advised by Dr. Chris Lowe.
Weston Spivia, advised by Deborah Fraser, PhD.
Cody David Larson, advised by Dr. Kevin Kelly.
From the Department of Chemistry and Biochemistry, Elise Knapp.
Shweta Kotari.
Alex Kola.
Ariana Gilmore, advised by Dr. Stephen Mezek.
Joanna Milam Guerrero.
Funghu Nguyen, advised by Dr. Shahab Darakhshan.
Cheryl Sturm, advised by Dr. Shahab Darakhsam.
Sawandi Abawadana.
Sahar Rochandel.
Matthew Shimazu, advised by Dr. Boo.
From the Department of Geological Sciences, Christina Hill, advised by Dr. Richard Bell.
Tesfaladet Kasa, advised by Dr. Richard Bell.
Jared Butler.
Michelle Antoinette Baroldi.
Tonya Zephyr-John.
Now from the Department of Mathematics and Statistics, Jessica La Rosa.
Carrie Velasco.
Jasmine Durley.
Mao Tien Win.
Jonathan Harris.
Gino Aguirre.
Michael Richards.
Tyler Bugar.
Shelby Hernandez.
Joshine Lee.
Melissa Storm.
Alvard Arapetian.
Ali Kianrad Hashimian.
Hector Oriana.
Christine Bohannon.
Tina Pau.
Amirali Ovesi.
Wisdom Efyong.
Natalie Albor.
John Cole.
Paul Lee.
Eric Mejia.
Frida Valderrama Perez.
Sean Michael Taylor.
From the Department of Physics and Astronomy, Brian Kacha.
Michael Arciniaga.
George Wang.
Daniel Lashir.
Ashkan Pekar.
Samuel Hedges.
Daniel Coolgis.
Natalie Brown.
From the Department of Science Education, Tracy Kostenbader.
Lori Walsh. Advisor Jim Kissiel.
Julian Jordan. Advisor Jim Kissiel.
Ayana Pantalian.
Debbie Dickinson. Advised by Dr. Laura Enriquez.
Erica Young. Advised by Susan Gomez Sweep.
Will all the candidates for the master's degree please stand and remain standing? President Conley. You don't have your degrees yet. President Conley, these candidates for the Master of Science degree have completed all the requirements for their respective degrees and have been approved by the faculty of the College of Natural Sciences and Mathematics to receive their degrees.
You have been recommended to me by the Provost and Senior Vice President for Academic Affairs, and you have been recommended to me by your Dean and your distinguished faculty. Therefore, by the authority vested in me by the Chancellor and the Board of Trustees of the California State University, I confer upon each of you who has fulfilled all requirements the appropriate master's degree with all the rights and privileges thereto. Congratulations, and you can be seated.
And now, the bachelor's candidates. Under the direction of the faculty marshals, will the first row of candidates receiving bachelor's degrees please stand and come forward. Candidates will proceed from your right, cross the platform, and return to your seats on your left.
President Connolly, we present the candidates for the bachelor's degrees. From the Department of Biological Sciences, Osman Mohammed Shaheen.
Rebecca Harvey.
Cassie Knox.
Vanessa Deanne Lewis.
Priya Patel.
Laura Villegas.
Jacqueline Ann Sanchez.
Delaney Agner Swayze.
George Eskander.
Rudy Villegas.
Grace Lee.
Alexander Rosales.
Jesus Quintana.
Helen Wynn.
Leslie Nguyen.
Alan Wu.
Ashley Osinski.
Milton Huerta.
Kenya Petch.
Andrea Danahel.
Ahed Salah.
Jacqueline Duarte Aguilera.
Asma Abdul Majid.
Ricardo Ramirez II.
Stanley Nguyen.
Kathy Wynn.
Jessica Runyard.
Emily Diaz.
Aisha Afak.
Chad Martin.
Ashley Johnny McNeil.
Ariel Wages.
Casey Kathleen Dorr.
Syra Olvera.
Nida Haririparsa.
Jennifer Kim.
Bikram Katra.
Patrick Tilley.
Aubrey Moss.
Rachel Holman.
Priscilla Figueroa.
Daniel Ramirez.
Viviana Ramirez.
Angelica Ramirez.
Danny Martinez Menjivar.
Julian Morado.
Madiha Fatima.
Paul Din.
Christina Lee.
Na Tai.
Emily Sarah Melzar.
Eddie Encarnacion Herrerias.
Sylvia Perez.
Bianca Gonzalez.
Timothy Thomas.
Kathy Wynn.
Michael Garrett.
Soparukuchu Chima.
Natalie Ann Lozano.
Daniel Trin.
Crisel Corpus.
Elisa Hernandez.
Henson Park.
Fabiola Espinoza Osnaya.
Adriana Peralta.
Marissa Lee Andoloro.
And Michelle Dow.
Ryan Javier de Santiago.
Lorenzo Camargo.
Valerie Goodwin.
Channing To.
Lady Vasquez.
Roxana Gastelum.
Priscilla Pompa.
Shelly Quijada.
Alejandra Velasquez Ojeda.
Vianney Gomez.
Lauren Carrero.
Timothy Golia Jr.
Justin Steinhaus.
Kelly Radecki.
John Cow.
Jacqueline Blumeyer.
Bess Biscocho.
Nicholas Coleman.
Brad Thomas.
Agustin Jimenez.
Tardet Mann.
Jasmine Chavez.
Jenny Nguyen.
Allison Totten.
Rudy Fabernon.
Andrew Rosales.
Luis David Munoz.
Marina Patricia Garcia.
Jenna Renee Sally.
Crystal Melgarejo.
Guadalupe Osuna.
Andres Loera.
Bridget Jacobowski.
Jennifer Orellana.
Christine Nguyen.
Elizabeth Ann Jimenez.
Nicole Chapman.
Courtney Diane Johnson.
Christiana Marcheski.
Rachel Cushman.
Thomas Robert Coleman.
Stephanie King.
Samantha Stacy.
Graham Stephen Archer.
Rebecca Lynn Price.
Taylor Amber Rivers.
Christina Elizabeth Guevara.
Brittany Quinn.
Danny Della Cerda.
Fritz Riemann.
Doreen Cabrera.
Clarissa Lechuga.
Ashby Hoke.
Linda Nguyen.
Adam Taylor.
Devin Ivy.
Lisa Nguyen.
Kevin Nguyen.
Lillian Pham.
Bao Vu.
Mark Christopher Vinland Polanco.
Daniel Tran.
Jason Kosman.
Tommy Nguyen.
Jonathan Mark Garcia.
Christian Dayrit.
Mary Yu.
Joanna Marie Dorije Gonzaga.
Allison Hai.
Alex Dang.
Daniel Mark Villamayor.
Quan Tran.
Amisha Thekar.
Jose Felix Cruz Ruiz.
Vu Pham.
Hugh Nguyen.
Brianna Bracy.
Sulki Huang.
Matthew Blanco.
David Nguyen.
Kevin Kablal.
Patrick Blankenship.
Allison Rose Peterson.
Sarah Anvari.
Zoila Medina.
Isaiah Moore.
Cindy Wynn.
Riley Hannah Embry.
Radhika Patel.
Cassandra Marie Clark.
Sarah Wynn.
Serena Pove.
Wendy Wynn.
Alyssa Pham.
Jason Tron.
From the Department of Chemistry and Biochemistry, Eric Kircher.
Erica Ruby Torres.
Victoria Luce.
Kevin Nguyen.
Mia Hartman.
Lisa Mugatz.
Daniel Corona.
Matthew Garay.
Kate Erin Monahan.
Enrique Mendoza.
Matilde Rodriguez.
Danielle Jackson.
Chelsea Heiner Melanson.
Erin Nicole Trufray.
Genesis Mercado.
Amrit Paul.
Gabrielle Fernandez.
Nicole Wynn.
Kaylee Smith.
Mackenzie Robertson.
Jenny Wang.
Sharon Kim.
Rinal Ahir.
Kerlifa Muth.
Lorena Leha.
Adam Kim.
Linda Ong.
Koa Nguyen.
Erica Razzo.
Archie Turner.
Stephanie Ariza.
Lynn No.
Min Nguyen.
Brandon Vu.
Nairuti Patel.
Bianca Bartolome.
Catherine Shu.
Ni-Young Win.
Tiffany Do.
Sandra Sanchez.
Brianna Kristen Young.
Jiwon Lee.
Jung Van To.
Kai Win.
Sharina Fabelane.
Katrina Bautista.
Malika Yang.
Kenneth Jensen.
Ulysses Garcia.
Adam Maddox.
Faraz Hussein.
Miguel Ruiz.
Sean Michael Cortez.
Heinz Cedric Abraham.
Hong True.
Megan Vanderham.
Ismail Peng.
Joseph Pham.
Michael Tron.
Vivi Pham.
Matthew Ramos Santos.
Dustin Alvarez.
Oscar Rodriguez.
Tran Vo.
Hylin Wee.
Unbi Na.
Andrew Shaw.
Kiona Wang.
Duke Win.
Nu Lee.
Fonglan Nguyen.
Tao Lai.
Jesse Tran.
Amber Boyick.
Christian Kevin Tyag.
Donella Cardwell.
Roy Santos.
Philip Cannon.
Justin Vo.
Alan Ung.
Long Tran.
Victor Daniel Sarasides.
From the Program of Environmental Science and Policy, Andrew Denton.
Kaya Marina Lay.
Christopher William Miter.
Justin Dane Thompson.
Claire No.
Madison Paige Hansen.
Sean Christopher Binderum.
Kelsey Boynton.
Joshua Rhodes.
Sochi Corrales Felix.
Michael Gardner.
Edward Hart.
Monica Toscano.
Stacy Craig.
Stephanie Michelle Hubbard.
Kira Barboza.
Tatiana Da Silva.
Cynthia Karina Ramos.
Elan Carnahan.
From the Department of Geological Sciences, Daniel Boyd.
James Rex.
Shane Miller.
Tyler James Castellaw.
Robert Charles Langhurst.
Tyler Paz Burt.
Letitia Martin.
Stephanie Jones.
Kirsten Emily Faulkner.
Rain Anderson.
Georgianne Aronson.
Jennifer Lytle-Meyer.
Matthew Kazmarek.
Eric Jason Akiokano.
Rachel Tournier.
From the Department of Mathematics and Statistics, Elaine Fong Sam.
Treasy's Win.
Eva Lee.
Jimmy Peter Enriquez.
Elda Liliana Ortega Benitez.
Patrick James Ortiz.
Adrian Pascual.
Mark James Copeland.
Luis Hernandez.
Diana Gonzalez.
Nina Sinsambachelern.
Cecilia Esperanza Alvarez.
Adriana Arias.
Marvin Sanchez.
Jesus Eduardo Gonzalez.
Renee Zamudio.
Mandy Ray Glimpse.
Anastasia Kapitanova.
Evan Griffiths.
Alexandra Gohongu.
Kimberly Visca.
Derek Tu.
Carlos Franco.
Alvaro Portillo.
Wendy Diaz.
Omar Mendo.
Kenny Luong.
Jose Elias Leaños.
Melissa Padilla.
Heidi Noel Furlong.
Leslie Rodriguez.
Christina Gale Heath.
Cameron Smith.
Tabe Kang.
Ryan Shamano.
Catherine Ganayer.
Jonathan Guzman.
Angelica Santana.
Tatiana Watwood.
Renelle Wiricone.
Tra Nguyen.
Carlos Villares.
Eric Joseph Rowe.
Selena Chavez.
Veronica Garza.
Martin Paul Gilson.
Brittany Gorgie.
Taylor Miracle.
Myra Sierra.
Shiva Mostagel.
Maribel Campos.
Wen Sai.
Lauren Nation.
Jesus Lopez.
Stephen Tseng.
Motohiro Yamada.
From the Department of Physics and Astronomy, Julio Portillo.
Leslie Ann Gill.
Varlick Manilyn Him.
Francis Duty.
Travis Thompson.
Christopher Gonzalez.
Bryant Lopez.
Evan Tharate.
Marianne Nguyen.
Nicholas Jimenez.
Christopher Kim.
Kayla Bollinger.
Sarah Elizabeth Limon.
Christopher Allen Perry.
Katie Rodriguez Wimberly.
Diana Gonzalez.
Kevin Cano.
Shayna Rawell.
Marwing Cervantes.
Joshua Sebastian Abelson.
Kenneth No.
Joanne Chang.
Mahmoud Mohammed Al-Arabi.
Rachel Maureen Yarborough Jordan.
Will all the bachelor's candidates please rise and remain standing? President Conley, these candidates for the bachelor's degree have completed all the requirements for their respective degrees and have been approved by the faculty and the College of Natural Sciences and Mathematics to receive their degrees.
Candidates, you have been recommended to me by the Provost and Senior Vice President for Academic Affairs, and you have been recommended to me by your Dean and your distinguished faculty. Therefore, by the authority vested in me by the Chancellor and the Board of Trustees of the California State University, I confer upon each of you who has fulfilled all requirements for the appropriate bachelor's degree with all the rights and privileges pertaining thereto. Congratulations. You may be seated. Congratulations, class of 2015. I'm honored to have served as your president for your last year at the beach. I wish you success and satisfaction in all you do, and hope you use your education to open minds, advance culture, and serve others. Thank you for what you have added to our campus community during your time here. Your vitality, diversity, and creativity made us a better place. I am proud of each of you and will remain your biggest fan. I can't wait to hear about all the wonderful things you'll do, so stay in touch. Go Beach!
Let me add my congratulations to all the graduates today. This is indeed a milestone in your life. All of us in the College of Natural Sciences and Mathematics extend our best wishes to you in your future endeavors, careers, and in your life. I thank all of you for your patience and attendance at this, our 66th commencement. Before concluding the ceremony, I have a few announcements. First, all graduates and their guests are invited to attend the College of Natural Sciences and Math commencement reception on the terrace level of the Student Union immediately following the recessional. Next, I ask the audience to please remain seated until the recessional has been completed. Again, my congratulations to all the graduates. Go Beach! And let the recessional begin.